Hello, Fauve artists. Today we are going to take our painting from the background color to adding our first layer. We are always going to start with whatever is in the very, very background. I'm actually going to keep my sky orange just for the sake of being a fauve, and also because I think an orange sky would look nice. Now, what color do I want my sun to be? I'm going to be moving from the back to the front. The very last thing I'm going to paint will be these trees here. Painting is a layering process. So I'm going to make a pink sun, and I will put it right about here. And I'm just going to dip my paint in there like that. Anything else I want pink? How about the middle ground? I might make the middle ground house pink. Now notice I'm not going to be putting all of the detail in. The detail is the final layer. Actually, I don't want a pink house. I want a blue house. I already started at pink, so I'm going to just go with that. Maybe I will make like I said, I'm not doing detail, I'm just doing the whole outline of it. Maybe I'll make the bridge. Nah, I think I'm gonna make that purple. And wash out your brush. Now when you wash out your brush, this is not watercolor, so make sure you scrub it out really, really good and you have a towel handy, because you will need to dry off that brush real good. If you don't dry off your brush, you're gonna end up with watery paint, and it's really not gonna have the same effect that we have here. The reason why I did a triangle, you might say, why did you do like kind of like a triangle-ish for the sun? Well, the reason why I did that was because I want to do the mountains. You know what? And I will do the mountains purple. How about purple for the landscape area? So now the house that I did is just a shape. So I'm actually going to paint this whole area purple, because I want the whole background to be purple now. Now this paint really doesn't take a long time to dry, so if you need to go over it again, you can. So I'm going to make this part purple. So maybe it's kind of like a field of lavender. I like lavender. And if, like I said, if I don't like that pink house that I just made, I might want to change that up, which I probably will. I think I want it to be like a dark blue, kind of like the way it was done in the first video we watched. But I'm going to just do the whole areas. Now I'm just painting big splotches of area with one color. You might say, well, wait a minute, I want to add some detail. The detail is actually the final layer. So we're not really worried about detail. We're getting into a little bit more detail than we did, obviously, the first day when we just made the whole background one color. But today, what we're going to do, the object of the game, is to try to get down some of the main areas that we want colored one way or another, and you're going to just get in there. I said, well, why haven't you done the trees? The trees are really super main. And there's a very good reason why I haven't started the trees. The trees are the foreground. The foreground is always going to be the last thing you paint. The reason why is because it's got to be painted on top of everything else. So I'm going to just paint all of this purple, even though I have another layer that's over there that's going to be a different color. I'm just going to be mapping out my main areas with this color. And if we get that part done today, I will be super duper happy. If you want to go a little step further, and if you're not using your paint real thick, which you really should not be, just a light coat will do it, because this is super thick paint already. This is not watercolor. Although some Fauves artists did apply their paint really thick, you pretty much can do it lightly that way. If an area dries, you can paint over it. So let's see. Like I said, I'm not happy with the pink color for the house already. It's already saying to me, I don't want that color purple. So I'm going to actually wash out my brush real good, scrub it out in the water, dry it off completely, and I'm going to try it as a dark blue house. Now it's already kind of dry, and look at that. You can paint right over it. That's the beauty of acrylic paint is that it does have a quick drying time, but you do want to be real careful with your clothes. I did tell you that in class, I believe, and the reason why is because if it goes on your clothes, it won't come out. The best thing you can do is, if you notice it right away, is to try to wash it out, and then there's a good chance it will come out. But if you don't notice it, and it ends up setting on your clothes, that's going to probably be the end of your clothes. Okay, so now I've got 3 areas mapped out. I might go on to the next area, which will be maybe this river over here. I'm moving from the back forward, except for anything in the foreground. So I've done the background. You know what? I might want to do something more with that sun. That sun looks kind of boring. How about if I maybe put some color in the sky? Just add some. Ooh, I got a little bit of purple. That's okay. That's a happy little accident. I kind of like that purple in the sky. I might want to do something more instead of making it look like a plain old boring old sun. Toss some pink in there. Anything else I want to add to the sky is what I'm going to decide to do right now. I am going to have more than 3 colors, but that's all I have out right now. I don't want to take up all your time, but then you're going to be painting areas on top. Remember, you're getting the big areas. I'm not getting into the little details of the window. I'm not getting into a whole kinds of details. I'm getting the main components of the background first, and then the very last thing I'm going to do is probably the foreground, like the trees and such. So let's say I want to do, let's say I have everything else down I need to do, and I want to do the trees. Then I'm going to go right on top, and then I can do the trees. So I don't think I have anything in this area over here, so I can do that. And see what happens when I got that wet? That just pulled the color right off. I did not want that to happen. You can even see the orange behind it. So you really need to be careful with your water. This is not watercolor paint. This is acrylic, which is one of my favorite paints of all time. You are going to make sure you keep it nicely in one of these capped containers. If you have a special color that you want to make, let me know. I will get you a special cup to make it in that you can save your color for next week. All right, well, that's it for today's demonstration. I definitely need you to have time to get started. Have a good day.